It's a good representation of our people and some of the things that we would be doing out here in the desert, and we were out here actually living, out here with the water, and this place looked pretty good. It was beautiful. There's a lot of different grasses. My name is Toland Mayo. I'm a Southern Paiute from the Kaibab Band of Paiutes out here on the reservation. I work here as the ranch hand for about 3 years. I do a lot of different things here with the garden, a pioneer side and a native side. This year we're trying to emphasize on the native side a lot more. And so I do a monsoon style of gardening and ancestral Puebloan style gardening. So I like to catch the rains towards the end. A lot of the stuff I use is drought tolerant seeds here in the desert, and so we emphasize on water. And so some of the, tools we use would be like waffle bed gardens and like mounds and stuff like that, stuff that will absorb the water and get the most out of the absorbent of the leaves and everything when they're sprouting out. We've upgraded a little more and started growing a lot of different things. The plants and seeds we'd get were already harvested when I came, and so I would just take what they had in their seed collection and go for it, and then go from there. Some of them tell stories. I got a story about the three sisters I can share a brief one. It just goes along the lines of working together and sustaining, like family, trying to bond ships and stuff. The Creator had 3 daughters, and all 3 of these daughters didn't work together. That's our 3 sisters. And so the beans, corns, and squash. And so the 3 of them always bickering. So the Creator just put them together and told them, you're going to stay together until you guys can learn to work together, and you're going to have to rely on each other. And so he put them together. The corn, she was tall, beautiful, she was the most pretty, she was the smartest, and she was that's why she became the stock. She was the backbone of the group. The beans, she was a little nerdy girl, really smart, knew a lot of different things, and she helped with that. She helped put a lot of the stuff back into it. She's the one who climbed and kept a lot of different things, and she's the one who kept the nitrate and a lot of different stuff fed into the ground for them to grow. And so the little chubby girl, she's the bottom part, and she's just awkward, little chubby girl and whatnot. So they all kind of had different little things, but they would bicker amongst each other and fight. And he finally got tired of it, put them all together, and they had to learn to sustain and work together. When we tell that story, I hope some people can get out of it, is that we have to work together to make things happen. You know what I mean? Not all of us can be just one unit. Some of us have to get some help. Me, myself, it takes a lot for me to ask a lot of help too, and so in here it does take a lot. I do a lot of the stuff myself, but my ranch hands, interps, and volunteers, and everybody in that sense, IC members, YCC, when they come through, they're a big part of this. And so even I got something out of that, is to you always got to ask for help. Growing up here, the latest I can remember was mostly running through here. I didn't really understand what this place was. I just knew there was a fort and it had some cool stuff here. We used to come down because I would go to the local elementary that was here in Moccasin also, and so we would come down and do different things, different activities, things I didn't see now that we did a long time ago. It was run by the Heatons at the time, and so I put a little bit more pioneer stuff onto it, and I really didn't think too much about what was going on at that time. I just knew they had goodies down here, and so I'd come down. Gardening, I had no idea how to do this too much. I had a little bit of knowledge, not too much, but this place really helped me open up and become more knowledgeable about it. Come to find out, a lot of my people, my grandpa, his brother, and a lot of them were agriculturists back in the day, and actually did Canal Creek in a lot of different areas. The last ones to go through there and actually have garden plots through the whole thing. We're in the desert, in the high desert, and so to me, I think it's the best thing for visitors to know is self-sufficiency. It can be done out here in the desert. My people were doing it to the point where we found scarce amounts of water. We were still be able to do this. Not only my people here, but the Southern Paiute Nation and many other tribes. Some of the tribes that were along the Grand Canyon. We was always given scarce stuff, but we always managed to get by with what we had. You know what I mean? Here, in this specific area, we had over 2,000, maybe more. And so when the European approach of Euro-America came, with everything that they brought, sickness, everything, even to the water, and getting humbled down, we got dwindled down to 77, 78, somewhere around that area. And I descend from one of those, so, a lot of people think we're but we're still here, and it feels good. It's a good story. It feels good to actually know my story, and then not only here, but down the Grand Canyon, so now I can piece together everything that needs for me to become who I need to be. Specifically, this monument has done a pretty good job of breaking that down and incorporating a lot of the Southern Paiute ways and their traditional lives and everything what they did. Millions of people, well, I wouldn't say millions here, but over the years have heard our little story, you know what I mean? And so it's out there in the world. People from Europe, people from China have heard our little story. I would just say, more or less just be respectful coming here. You come into a Native American land, and the majority of the reservations are surrounded by, a lot of artifacts, a lot of petroglyphs, a lot of different materials that we hold sacred, a lot of different areas that we hold sacred. Some of the camping spots that people are at on the reservation, they go and still try and deface some of these places. Just be respectful when going. It's like us visiting some of your guys' churches and stuff. You wouldn't want us going and writing on your walls and defacing some of the other things in that sense too, or going into some of our UEPs, the sweat lodge and stuff. We wouldn't want to have us go into your personal backyard and start messing things up also, so it goes both ways, Personally, it's a good accomplishment to see it happen every year, and so I'm gonna keep it going. And it keeps my mind busy, helps me stay focused while I'm here at the monument too. It helps me stay busy, and always ask questions. I'm here to answer any questions